You've probably noticed a new grocery store popping up in your neighborhood recently, one with a simple, no-frills look and an eye-catching logo. That would be Aldi, the German discount supermarket chain that's been taking the United States by storm. Founded way back in 1961, Aldi had stayed fairly under the radar in America for decades. But in just the last few years, this lean, mean grocery machine has kicked into high gear, expanding rapidly across the country. As of the making of this video, Aldi operates 2,381 stores in 39 states, and they show no signs of slowing down. The numbers are staggering. In 2022 alone, Aldi's U.S. sales shot up nearly 9% to $22.3 billion. To put that in perspective, they outgrew grocery giants like Kroger and Albertsons. And they did it while offering just 1,400 or so items per store, a tiny fraction compared to the tens of thousands of products at traditional supermarkets. So what exactly is driving Aldi's meteoric rise? Well, it goes all the way back to their roots as a discount retail pioneer in Germany, with a laser focus on streamlining operations and pushing their own private label brands. Aldi cracked the code for providing high-quality groceries at prices that leave the competition in the dust. This value proposition proved to be a goldmine when Aldi crossed the Atlantic after the Great Recession. As American consumers tightened their belts, Aldi's rock-bottom prices for wholesome foods were a smash hit. In fact, a recent study crowned Aldi the third most visited grocery chain in the whole country, beating out big names like Publix and H-E-B. But low prices are just one part of Aldi's recipe for success. These stores also deliver a totally unique shopping experience. Aldi's cost-cutting strategies. At the core of Aldi's business model is an absolute obsession with keeping costs as low as possible, and they've mastered this in some pretty ingenious ways. Let's start with their stores themselves. Step inside an Aldi, and you'll instantly notice how stripped down and efficient the layout is. These shops are literally designed to cut costs at every turn. For one, the product selection is really pared down to just the essentials. You won't find those endless aisles of options like at most grocers. By concentrating on their top-selling, high-turnover items, Aldi simplifies their inventory management and supply chain. Their store footprints are also super compact. A typical Aldi is about 12,000 square feet, while traditional supermarkets can be over 6 times larger. Fewer aisles, less overhead from lighting and cooling. It all adds up to major savings. Then, there are Aldi's legendary efficiencies behind the scenes. Their distribution system is practically a finely tuned machine, optimized to smooth out logistics and keep those iconic bright blue Aldi semi-trucks fully loaded on their routes. Labor costs? They've got that covered too, with some outside-the-box practices. For example, Aldi cashiers also have to stock shelves, eliminating the need for dedicated staff doing endless zoning and facing of products. But perhaps Aldi's most powerful cost cutter is their heavy focus on private label brands. Look around an Aldi, and you'll see the majority of products are their own affordable house brands like Clancy's, Bakehouse, and Simply Nature Organics. By cutting out major national brands, Aldi gains full control over production and pricing. They can demand rock-bottom costs from suppliers and pass those unbeatable savings directly to shoppers. All these strategic cost cuts allow Aldi to sell quality products at prices that consistently undercut rivals by up to 50%. One-of-a-kind shopping experience. Low prices are certainly Aldi's calling card, but what really sets these stores apart is the totally unique shopping experience they've crafted. From the minute you walk through those doors, you know you've entered a grocery retailer unlike any other. The first thing that hits you is the unconventional layout and design. You won't find those typical long aisles with towering, product-packed shelves here. Instead, Aldi keeps things wide open with a minimalist floor plan and products often just sitting in their shipping boxes or crates. It's deliberately no frills and devoid of the sensory overload you get at most supermarkets. This stripped-down approach isn't just for aesthetics, though. It's another cost-saving measure. Eliminating expenses like excessive shelving and labor hours spent restocking perfectly faced aisles. Aldi makes it work by keeping inventory tightly controlled and hyper-focused on their best sellers. Speaking of which, those best sellers are constantly rotating, creating an ever-changing treasure hunt experience that keeps shoppers coming back. Then there are Aldi's famous customer participation policies, like their rigid bring your own bag rule and rental cart system that charges a modest 25-cent refundable fee. To an outsider, it might seem like an inconvenience, but to dedicated Aldi fans, it's part of the quirky culture that makes them feel like they're in on a smart shopper secret. By involving customers in these little cost-saving rituals, Aldi has bred an unusually high sense of loyalty and community among its base. Shoppers feel like value-conscious warriors banding together against the wasteful big store economics. Aldi's aggressive expansion. You see, Aldi recognized the huge unmet demand for affordable groceries across America in the wake of the Great Recession. As bigger chains vacated these food deserts, Aldi rushed in, bringing healthy food options at prices even the most budget-conscious shoppers could stomach. But this explosive growth hasn't been a one-size-fits-all approach. Part of Aldi's strategy has been tailoring their offerings to meet local tastes and compete with the big regional players. For example, in Texas, they expanded their Hispanic food selection to go head-to-head with home state favorite H-E-B. On the West Coast, Aldi is introducing a trendier, larger format store to battle dominant chains like Albertsons and Vons. These reimagined locations feature more organics, vegetarian options, and a jaunt towards trendier aesthetics, while still maintaining those rock-bottom prices. This adaptability, combined with their rapid expansion, has allowed Aldi to quickly scale up pressure on their biggest competitors. For legacy supermarket empires, ignoring the Aldi disruption is no longer an option. It's fight or be decimated by the German discount machine. So just how big could this Aldi avalanche get? Well, company leadership believes their streamlined model could potentially support up to 3,000 stores nationwide. With their well-oiled expansion strategy showing no signs of cooling, Aldi's relentless growth trajectory may just be getting started. Can Aldi maintain its momentum? Aldi's meteoric rise has been a true disruptor story for the American grocery landscape. But as this upstart chain rapidly approaches market saturation, some difficult questions loom. Can their cost-cutting ways withstand the test of time? Or will the discount model that fueled their expansion eventually hit an affordability wall? For starters, Aldi's greatest strength, those rock-bottom prices, could start diminishing their competitive edge. As the tides of inflation and rising costs ripple through the economy, Aldi may eventually have to pass along higher costs to consumers to protect profit margins. Then there's the intensifying competition on multiple fronts. Long-established supermarket titans like Kroger have been launching their own discount banners explicitly aimed at battling Aldi's value proposition head-on. And at the premium end, retailers like Whole Foods have been applying pressure by steadily driving down organic and specialty prices. Perhaps Aldi's biggest challenge is the looming threat of online grocery delivery. While chains like Amazon struggle to replicate Aldi's efficiencies, their pursuit of technological solutions for frictionless shopping can't be ignored. Aldi has rapidly expanded its e-commerce capabilities, offering delivery through partners and rolling out curbside pickup services. But making these digital upgrades without sacrificing cost discipline will be a tricky balancing act. So while Aldi has undeniably disrupted grocery retail through brilliant cost strategy, the long-term viability of their model will depend on deft execution and adaptation. Overcoming these mounting challenges will determine if their growth story has been a fleeting, discount-driven spark or the birth of an enduring, revolutionary force in American food retail. Thanks for watching.